Hey guys, what's up y'all? For those of you maybe the first time tuning in, my name is Sheila from here in the mountains of Virginia, and I appreciate you tuning in. I guess some of you for the first timers are going, what's this lady talking about? What's this? I'm not sure what the title's going to be. The wind's blowing my book around because I had to write down some notes because I was told or mentioned that my videos were too long. I'm sorry. It's just that sometimes when I can't get to a video like in a couple of weeks, I have so much that's happened in those couple of weeks, then I use that time to, I guess, without realizing it, that I'm, letting you know or catching you up as to what's going on. And I apologize for those of you that think it's too lengthy. We'll just maybe watch some of it and then come back and watch some of it some other time. I don't know. Anyway, today I put up a couple of videos. One was about Mr., which is my husband. That's his nickname because I used to call him Mr. Wilson because he used to call me Dennis the Menace because I guess he just thought I was a menace. I don't know. But anyway, I said, well, you're Mr. Wilson. So then I narrowed it down to just Mr. It's all love and endearment. So I put up a story about him having the stroke, which was came out of the blue. But what stroke does come on that you're going, okay, well, let me prepare for this because next week that's probably what's going to happen. You don't know. It just comes out of the blue. And as it did with Mr., it just, one minute we've got things planned for this summer. We've had a lot, like with chickens. We were going to get chicken. We already got the chicken coop. We're going to plant a big garden, so on and so forth. As I'm sure many of you have plans for this for the summer coming up. But it happened, and it happened suddenly. And not only that, as I told you, if you go back and look at the first video about Mr., is that once he got to the hospital, then he had a heart attack. Anyway, this video that I am preparing today, and you go, Sheila, why are you in the car? Is because I didn't really want to video this in the house, and I'm taking some time to do this because normally I'm in the house. I'm not that far away from Mr. He's still immobile on his left side. But today, a lot of people put up videos about stroke patients, stroke survivors, and that's vitally important because it gives the new stroke survivor some hope when they see the videos and see how far they've come along and what they did to achieve it and the attitude that they had to have and the hard work that they had to put forth. But I haven't seen that many. Sorry, I'm kind of floating around here trying to hold this camera. I really haven't seen that many that, and I've looked, talking about the caregiver. And I guess it just depends on the stroke survivor as to what type of care at that point, what parts of the body that it has affected, whether or not, how much. Of course, it's going to affect, no matter where the stroke has affected, it's going to affect the family or the caregiver. It's going to, especially if it's a wife, as such as I am with Mr. But I just kind of wanted to go over this today, and I don't know if this is going to help people or not. I don't know. I just had to put it out there what challenges that I faced. As one of the other videos, I'm sorry guys, my arm's getting tired. As in one of the other videos that I put up, I was talking about preparing before he could even come home, the things that I needed. And I've had the therapists that have come here talking about that they, that I was well prepared, that, I thought ahead, and they just don't see that many people. So for some of you, I would suggest that to look into things, to go ahead and have things prepared before they come home, because I'm going to tell you, by the time they get home, you don't have time to think. As a caregiver, I'm being real. I'm going to be, I guess people call it flat-footed. I don't mean to offend anybody, and if I do, please don't write me and talk about this and that. I'm talking about from Sheila's perspective. And anyway, so I want to start out Once you get them home, which I have the hospital bed, the sit to stand, the walker, which he's not in yet, the shower chair. That's another story. We had to take down the shower door, so and I got a shower curtain. I just put that up today. You got to get all the equipment ready, especially the ramp, because I couldn't bring Mr. home not unless I had the ramp. So those things, as being a caregiver, those things that you had to plan for. Sometimes when we're going through this, it's like we just can't think clearly. Our minds are going chaotic. I mean, we're all over the place, and what do I do? What do I need to get? Now, a lot of times the caseworker will help you and tell you things that you need, and they did me, but I'd already gone ahead. I just kind of like one of the people, I just went ahead and thought, okay, I need the ramp. I'm going to get the ramp. I can't bring Mr. home. Okay, then I need to get him in the shower. Okay, I need a shower chair. Now, I know that Medicare covers some of it, but some of it Medicare didn't. You have to watch my other video to see all the equipment that I got. But anyway, after bringing him home as a caregiver, it was very chaotic for me. Very chaotic. Because not only that, he's a diabetic. Well, he had come off the medicine that he was taking because the hospital doesn't, I think it was, what was the name? Can't think of the name of the diabetic medicine he was on, but they had him on insulin. So you have to give it to him 3 times a day, eight units, and then nighttime 30 units. Not only that, but I don't know how many pills that he had that I had to pick up at the pharmacy. And thank God for my neighbor that they were here. And I thought about, oh my gosh, I didn't stop by the pharmacy on the way home, bringing Mr. home. So anyway, then you got just your meds. Well, then some meds are morning, some are afternoon, some morning, afternoon, and bedtime. So I put M on all the mornings, so it'd be easy glance. I can see, okay, I need to give him all of these, so I don't have to read each label. That saves some time. As a caregiver, for me, it saves some time. Not only that, they taken his sugar, which I've never done that before. I had to learn how to take the sugar, and pricking his finger and doing all that kind of stuff. And then also cooking all the meals. Well, if you know me and Mr., that he was Martha Stewart. Now I've come the Martha Stewart, and the Martha Stewart caregiver, lawnmower, yard work, clothes washer, you name it, toilet cleaner. I mean, you name it. It was like all of a sudden, the first couple of days, I thought I was going to go nuts. You got to keep strong. You got to keep strong in front of them. Yes, you do. But also, people don't realize as a caregiver that, our concern is for the patient or the spouse or whomever it is that you're taking care of, especially if they're in your home. But also, it's a change in your life as well. And the things or the habits that you did, and when you drank your coffee and when you cooked your meals and when you did certain things, you were kind of in a routine. Well, when something like this happens, it just shook up my whole routine. It shook up my whole life. It shook up his too. Now remember, when I'm talking about these things, I'm not belittling or making light of what he's going through. Is horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible. But it also it shakes up our world, because we're trying to take care of them. So anyway, Mr. is dependent on me for most everything. Now he can get into to the bathroom, because I got him a Jazzy, and he can go in there and he can wash his face, brush his teeth and stuff like that with the Jazzy. His right side is operable. It's just his left side, but he's left side dominant. So that kind of put a kink in the spokes, if you know what it was. A kink in the hose, kink in the, you know what I mean. So anyway, it was, I didn't have a schedule. And I guess what I'm saying to you is, as soon as you can get a schedule down, and maybe even when they're in rehab before they come home, possibly write a schedule down. Think about, okay, when they come home, if you do coffee in the morning, and what I found out at first, when I got him up first, and then I started feeding the critters and everything like that, that didn't work for me. So I got up, and I get up before he gets up, and before I get him up, and I take care of all the critters. I get all that out of the way. I get the coffee going, and I do all that before I get him up. I get his pills, I put them in a little container. I put all of his pills in a container, so then after he eats, then the pills are right there. I get his sugar equipment, to when you prick your finger and all that kind of stuff, and his little stick things, whatever you call them, tabs you stick in there to see, that collects the blood. Then you puts it in that little machine that tells you how high the sugar is. I have all that ready. I didn't do that the first couple of days, but I said there's got to be a better way. So I started doing that. My mind was, I'm telling you, as a caregiver, our mind goes everywhere. And I want to talk to the caregivers out there. Don't beat yourself up. I beat myself up because I felt like I wasn't all there for Mr. because I'm out of whack. I'm out of schedule. It's a different schedule. I'm not used to it. Have I gotten everything for Mr.? Have I got the pills lined up? Have I got this done? What about the bathroom issues? What do we do about that? What about at night? What about the urinal? Will they be able to manage that? So it was just craziness. Can I say that it's still, it's not crazy now? No, I can't say that. There's challenges every single day that I get up. And what's happening now, that you'll find as caregivers, I'm sure, is that there's no sleep. Then there's sleep deprivation. And then how can you be your best? Because I have critters. And I have Sammy, as some of you know, and he's a dachshund. He's about 13 years old. Well, all of a sudden now, since I brought Mr. home, he's like having to go out and use the bathroom like 4 or 5. Last night, by the time I let him out, and I've been sleeping on the sofa because our bed is gone because I had to bring a hospital bed in, and so I've been sleeping on the sofa. So Sammy getting up and having to use the bathroom, I bet he got up. If I'm not exaggerating, I'm seriously not exaggerating, I bet he got up at least 10 to 12 times. And no more than he get in bed, then I try to lay my head down. Well, then I hear Mr. in there moving around in the bedroom. And so I go in there and try to empty like the urinal or whatever, just because I don't want him to be reaching for it again or whatever, and because he can't pop the top on it. And so I empty it so he won't knock it over. And then we got a mess. So, it's not only letting the critters out, it's, checking on Mr. all times of the night. If I got 2 hours of sleep last night, then I'm doing good. You get worn out. Not their fault. It's just that, it's different. I'm just not in that routine, and I'm trying to get into that routine. The house, you have to move everything around. I mean, your house is not like it once was, where maybe you've seen some videos of the house, me cleaning or rearranging, or, the decor or whatever. There's no decor now. Things are pushed to the side. Things are pushed up against the wall. Things that were in the middle of the floor are now pushed up, somewhere else on the side of the room, because we've got to have room for the Jazzy or the wheelchair or the sit-to-stand lift. He can't sit on the sofa, so I try to put him in a chair. He's not comfortable in the chair, so I'm having to look for a recliner now because his feet swell, or his foot swells. So I'm trying to prop that up, and then I have to prop it up on this little stool and put this big, called the husband pillow, put that on there and put his foot up. It wants to slide off all the time, so I'm constantly jumping up, making sure that his foot it isn't sliding off to the edge where it just flops on the floor and it can hurt himself. Making sure his arm is up so he doesn't get a subluxation. I bought a e-stem, electric stem. It's not a stem, but people call it different, but I call it electric stem. that I put on his legs and on his arms during the day when it's a little bit of downtime. When I say downtime is after we eat, and I have to cook 3 meals a day because of him being a diabetic. A lot of times I don't eat. So sometimes when I'm not hungry, I wasn't in that routine because he was Martha Stewart, of cooking. So now, it's the responsibility of fixing 3 meals a day. Well, then I have to think in advance for that. It's like, okay, what am I going to fix tomorrow? What's going to be for breakfast? Or what are we going to have for lunch? Well, how am I going to get my groceries? And thank God for my son that I order it online at Walmart, and he goes and he picks it up. And if it wasn't for that, I don't know how I would get my groceries. And you have to think on those things. Okay, how are you getting the groceries? I mean, are you having to plan the 3 meals a day? Are you keeping up the times and stuff, the medicines? How about if they're diabetic? How many times are you having to check their sugar a day? And, and the urinal through the night, and making sure that they're comfortable, and because he can't turn over, and putting them on one side or versus one right side versus the left side, because we don't want any pressure points on the back. These are the things that us caregivers go through. It isn't like we're in a hospital where they got 3 shifts, so new people come in, and so you're relieved of it. It's 24/7. It's nonstop. What if they got to go potty during the middle of the night? And I've had that to happen at 2 o'clock in the morning. Finally, things are on a schedule now. Praise God, glory, hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. But, there was that time, when I'm not getting much sleep as the caregiver, and having to get up, put him on the sit to stand, one eye open, one eye shut, trying to be very tentative, and I'm not refreshed. I've got sleep deprivation, and not to mention that is that then you got to, hopefully now we can get them into the shower. We haven't done it yet. That's going to be a challenge from the slide board to getting them into the shower, because we took down the shower doors and we just put up a shower curtain, and I've got the shower chair in the shower itself. So we're going to try to tackle that today. But let's get to that. That's because I usually give him a bath every day. We go to get him in the Jazzy when he gets to the bathroom. It's washing your stroke survivors, making sure that they're clean and smell good, and new clean clothes every day. Well, while you're doing all that, then what about yourself? People say, Sheila, take time for yourself. When do we have time for ourselves? Make the time. Well, there's needs that are urgent needs at that moment that has to be taken care of. Well, why don't you get some help? We're new up here. We don't know that many people. And so, it's being a caregiver is very challenging. And kudos to all the caregivers out there. Sometimes we look over that. We just look at the patient, which I said is very important, very serious, but also for the caregiver themselves. I went 3 days with the same clothes on. With the same clothes. I've had one shower. I've had bird baths myself, if I could even call it that. And, do I like it? No, I don't. It's like people say, Sheila, I'm worried about you. Sheila, make sure you take care of yourself. Well, that's on my mind, and I would love to. And I would love to sit down and just, do something, a Sheila something, but there's no more Sheila. It's Sheila's gone. I don't know how long this is going to take for Mr. to recover. I'm there for him. Don't mistake all the things that I'm saying that like, well, golly, Sheila. It isn't that at all. I'm just saying that as a caregiver 24/7, it's very challenging, and my heart goes out to every single one of. If you caregivers are out there watching, know that I do understand. Know that my heart goes out to you. And hey, and let's not talk about. Let's talk about what about Mr. used to do the trimming. I do the mowing, but even in the mowing, it has to be mowed, but. Do I trust Mr. What if he needs me? put him in the chair. Of course, he can't get up. I tried to put him on the deck one time, and the wind was blowing so much because he's on blood thinners, which means he's freezing and I'm over there sweating buckets because his blood's so thin. And then I have to watch, him not hitting himself even when he's on the jazzy and getting from point A to point B, which has given him some independence, and I'm glad for that. Oh my Lantis, if he didn't have the jazzy, I mean, seriously, so he can get in there and brush his own teeth and wash his face and those kind of things. And, he does somehow put on his shirts and stuff like that. But it's just been very, very challenging. But getting back, somebody's got to mow the grass. Somebody. So I have to take the time to do that because it's growing up so high. And then when I come in, do that, even because my mind is in a whirlwind because I'm thinking when I'm mowing, I can hurry. But I can't go but so fast because I got to get in there and check Mister. And a lot of times I'll just stop and run in there and go, are you okay? Do you need anything? Yada, 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 yada. I'm just saying everything is out of whack. Everything is not the same. The schedule is completely different. There is no schedule, to be honest with you. Well, there is a schedule. Excuse me. There is a schedule. Now, but I guess that's why I'm here. As you can see how I'm talking, I'm kind of like here, there, and everywhere because your mind is you just can't think straight half the time. And I appreciate all the comments from you guys and the love and the support and the prayers. Please, please keep praying for Mr. to regain. I mean, he wants to walk. That's his main thing. I want everything. I know that God can do anything and everything. And I don't want a little dabba-do-ya. I want him to regain, and maybe it won't be to the full force, but to be able to, for him to walk. That he doesn't have to depend on the sit or stand, or if he wants to go to the bathroom in the mornings, and, to be able to go and do that on his own. And, it's just, it's very tiresome. That's about all I can say. So, if you're watching this for the first time and you have a loved one that has had a stroke, and I don't know what degree, and I'm sure maybe it's not like Mr. There's all that. What is it, TIAs, or the little itty-bitty ones to the big massive ones to life-threatening, life-threatening, excuse me, my eyes itching. But Mister's here. There's a reason why he's still here. And God has a plan for his life. We don't know what it is right now. But there's a reason. And maybe the Lord's showing me something. I don't know. Well, I will say this, getting back to it, then I'm going to end here because a lot of you, like I said, have written and said, Sheila, why are you putting out so long videos? Well, just don't watch me then. Don't watch me. That's okay. It's okay. Really, it's okay. And so you even change your whole mindset changes. It's like, it's just things change. Your attitude, your mentally, everything. I just say everything changes. But anyway, don't be like me the first few days and run around with a chicken with his head cut off. Go ahead. I've got my planner here. You remember the planner that I got at the Everyday Planner? It's got to become now my journal as to Mr. and some of the things that, when PT or OT comes. I've been trying to keep up with it, but then sometimes I don't even have time to do that. I want to. My next thing is, and I'm just encouraging you guys, especially if you're having to do all the cooking as well, get something that's easy. Getting in the kitchen and spending 30 to 45 minutes trying to prepare meals if you have to get some of those dinners, like the banquet dinners or whatever they're called out there, which we did, and it has helped some, because sometimes in the morning I forget to even lay out anything to eat because I'm so busy with medicines and checking his sugar and getting him up and getting him bathed and getting his, helping him with his clothes, and doing the critters and getting the coffee, and and even down to the breakfast, what we're going to eat for breakfast, or him eat for breakfast, because I don't eat when I first get up. Your mind is like, ah! So write down a schedule. I'm hoping that I gotta make this one short, because Mister's in there. Of course, he's in the bed right now because he's wanting to do some exercises on his own, some leg exercises, do as much as he can. So I told him, I said, well, if you'll be okay, let me at least go out the car. I need to let everybody know kind of what's going on. And I did want to send this out for, if you're becoming a caregiver and you don't know your head from a hole in the ground, join the club. I've been there, still am to a degree. But make lists, get a schedule. That will help you at the get-go. Get a schedule. Before they get up, you go on and take care of like the coffee. If you got critters to feed, those little things, believe it or not, I didn't do that at the very beginning, and I was trying to go to him and to go to the critters, to go to him and to go to da-da-da-da-da. I was like, woo! It was horrible. So now I try to do that, which has made it a little bit easier. Yes, it's a little bit easier, but yet it's still very hectic. And I'm praying as his movement and stuff comes back. I don't know how long that's going to take. That really depends on the stroke survival themselves, because it depends on how hard they work. Now, I push Mister. I always tell him, pick your arm up, do this. I will say this as a caregiver, and they'll probably get tired of hearing you say this, but as a because you care giver, is that, I tell Mister, when I got him up at the sit and stand, I said, lean to the left, lean to the right, to get his legs used to, weight on one side or the other. There's many things that I do. I put the electric stim on him, different places all day long. So I'm jumping up and down with that. There's just what's that? They always say, there's no rest for the weary, but it says don't be weary in well doing. Well, sometimes we need prayer. That's all I can tell you. We need prayer as caregivers. But anyway, let me get off here. I just kind of wanted to throw some things out at you and kind of let you know what's going on. Hopefully the next video will be even a brighter video for you guys. I will say, be encouraged, as some of you have encouraged me. Some of you have gone through it and know some of the challenges. And I appreciate your comments. I did this last one. There were so many comments, and I do appreciate it. But I just didn't have time. I'm telling you, I just didn't have time. I could just quickly read it, and I just had to put my little heart to let you know that, hey, I saw it. Hey, I read it. Hey, I appreciate it, and I love y'all to pieces and back. But, I just didn't have the time to sit and to type out anything back to you. But know that I care, know that I love you, I appreciate every single one of you, and all of y'all that have stuck with me, even through the thick and thin, that you've been there for me. I do want to be an encouragement to all of you out there, and I want to say this. Sometimes it's the simplicity in life. We don't have to have the grandeur things in life to be happy. Just the simple things in life. Take each moment that you have and enjoy the person that you're with, especially if it's your spouse that's had a stroke. You look back now and go, oh, I want Mr. and I to do this. So why didn't we take pictures of that? Enjoy every moment. You just never know what tomorrow may bring. We don't worry or fret about it. But I'm just saying, slow down. Smell the coffee. Smell the roses. Enjoy each other. Do things together. Laugh. Laugh, laugh, laugh. That's very important. They say laughter is like a medicine. Laugh, laugh, laugh. Laugh as much as you can. If you have to do stupid stuff to make them laugh. But life is so short too, you know. Anyway, let me get off here. Know that I love you, but Jesus loves you so, so much more. And y'all know what I'm getting ready to say. You're blessed in the city. You're blessed in the fields. You're blessed when you come and you join me. And you're blessed when you go, in Jesus' name. And until the next video, please pray for Mr. and I and for his complete recovery and healing, would you? I would so much appreciate that. Okay, until the next video. Bye, y'all.